Damn right.
The Punisher, or Punisher, not actually sure what it's called, is currently available to stream on Netflix. It's 13 episodes long and it stars Jon Bernthal as the Punisher. And I actually really like Jon Bernthal as the Punisher. I think he's probably the best version of the Punisher we've had. And I thought he was brilliant in Daredevil Season 2. And that was sort of the main thing that made me really excited, was, you know, that we would get to see more Jon Bernthal as the Punisher. But I have to say that after seeing all 13 episodes, this is a good show. But I don't know if it's good enough for you to spend 13 hours of your life watching. Because there's a lot of other great shows on right now. Like The Leftovers, like Mindhunter, like Big Little Lies, American Gods. A lot of great shows. I just don't think this one is up there, you know, with those shows. And you could be spending your time watching something much better. And to be honest, I think the main problem boils down to the fact that this show is 13 episodes long. And that's the biggest criticism that anyone and everyone has ever given to Netflix in terms of their superhero shows. They're just too long. Okay, Daredevil, easily the weakest part of it is the fact that it's felt too long and too slow. Same with Jessica Jones, same with Iron Fist, same with Luke Cage, same with Daredevil Season 2. Well, actually, Daredevil Season 2 is a slightly different situation, but I don't want to go into that. Punisher is way too long. This could easily have been an 8-episode show, and I think that the best stuff in this entire series was probably the first 5 minutes, because the first 5 minutes of this show is incredible. In my opinion, this show could have easily been an 8-episode show that focused on the Punisher going around like North America, South America, just killing gangsters, killing drug dealers and mob bosses, taking down drug cartels, and that would have been incredible. One of the first scenes you see the Punisher in is, like, he snipes this guy, but, like, you hear the gunshot, and then, like, half a second later the guy gets shot. And then the camera like zooms out halfway across the city, and then you see the Punisher. Like, that's the type of stuff I wanted. But what we're given is a very, 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 very slow show that has a lot of different characters and a lot of different, you know, subplots that really are not interesting and do not matter. For example, there's this one character called Lewis, who I did not care about at all. I thought he was completely irrelevant. I appreciated the themes that they tried to explore with him. And I appreciated all the themes that they tried to explore, you know, like gun control and PTSD. And it takes away from all the focus of the story. In fact, there are too many subplots. I mean, there are so many different characters in this that you don't really care about. For example, the Homeland Security Agent, Madrani, or whatever his name is, I really didn't care about her. I did like Sam Stein, though. I thought he was an interesting and fun character to watch. But there are so many different characters that are played really well, but they don't really do anything much to the story, like, on the grand scheme of things, and they don't really contribute that much. And I just feel like the writers were like, oh, we have to try and get them to do something, otherwise they're just irrelevant. But what they could have done is just not have the characters. But what would have happened then is that they wouldn't be able to fill the 13-episode mark, which is just stupid. This should have been an 8-episode show, easily. So as you could probably guess, by far the best thing about the show is Jon Bernthal as the Punisher, as Frank Castle. The guy is incredible. Jon Bernthal is such a talented actor, and, you know, he's really committed to both the dramatic acting and also the physical acting. You can see that he does most of his own stunts. The action scenes in this series are pretty great. However, there wasn't a scene that I thought was as good as the prison fight from Daredevil. I mean, to be honest with you, I think that Daredevil does Punisher better than Punisher does Punisher. I thought the character of Frank Castle in Daredevil Season 2 was a lot more compelling and a lot more sort of conflicted and stuff like that, and he was so much more badass as well. Whereas in this show, he's a lot nicer, which is good because you get to see, like, the, you know, the progression of the character. But he just wasn't as compelling as he was in Season 2, but that doesn't mean that Jon Bernthal was bad. Jon Bernthal gives an incredible performance, and I still cared for the character, and I still wanted him to succeed and get his revenge, so that was good. I also have to talk about the character of Lieberman, or Micro, whatever you want to call him. I thought he had one of the more interesting stories in this series. I thought, like, the whole dynamic with his family was brilliant. The actor was really, really good. That was one of my favourite parts of the show. And I also have to talk about, obviously, Billy Russo, played by Ben Barnes. Minor spoilers here, but if you're watching this, then you've probably seen the show. He is the villain. He's the antagonist here. And although he is good, and Ben Barnes, I think, gives a very good performance, and just like Bernthal, he's very committed to, like, the action scenes and the stunts, and he's always been a very underrated actor for me. I remember seeing him in, like, the Narnia films, and he does give a really good performance in this show, but I just don't think he's quite as good as, you know, like Vincent D'Onofrio or David Tennant or Sigourney Weaver or Mahershala Ali. And he was a very good antagonist for Frank because obviously their relationship is very personal. So it's not just like some random guy who's here to, like, blow up cities or whatever. His relationship and his motivation is a very personal one, and that works. But again, this is a very, very slow-paced show. the first episode is good, and then it pretty much dies and then comes back to life in about like halfway through episode 11. Episodes 11, 12, 13 are brilliant, but the rest of it is just really a bunch of uninteresting, really boring conversation scenes with a couple of action scenes sprinkled throughout, and it just wasn't the Punisher that I was hoping for. It didn't live up to my expectations personally, but that doesn't make it a bad show. This is still a very well acted show. Some of the episodes are very well directed. The music's pretty good. The title sequence is pretty good. So all around, I would say this is a solid show. It's probably better than Iron Fist, personally. It might not be as entertaining as Iron Fist, but as a show, in terms of the characters, in terms of the story, in terms of that progression, it is better than Iron Fist. So I'm going to give The Punisher a B. Guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I don't know if I can recommend you guys to watch The Punisher because it is 13 episodes and it's a long watch and it's an effort. But if you want to watch it, then of course you should watch it. But personally, I think that maybe you should watch something else, something slightly better. But that's my review, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you.